That was awesome. I'm so glad that I could just put that together for them, with them so easily.
Yeah,
It was just like a, hey all, come on in, and they're like, right on.
but between the way the link shells work and the duty finder that just teleports you to where you need to be, and the helpful shirt ninjas, it goes really well.
Ifrit is slain, and by my hand, Thancred. Trying to impress ladies, flipping over people and throwing daggers, but come on, you didn't stand in the fire.
Yep.
We did. Me and Philia did. And Philia will be proud, because me and her are gal pals. The flyest ladies in Eorzea. Well, awesome. So yeah, that was interesting that was a that didn't have any of the fights leading up to a normal boss fight. It was just the trial immediately.
Yeah, he's not waiting there at the end of the dungeon for you. It's just you have to overcome Ifrit himself, and then you have proven yourself.
Oh, I should leave the party, or no?
I will note though that you got an uncommonly clean run through that fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The first time I fought him,
what ways can that go wrong?
It took 5 or 6 attempts. There's a few. One, if the tank doesn't keep him faced away from the party, everybody gets killed by flame breath.
Okay.
It hits really hard.
That's kind of a tank 101 though, isn't it?
It is, but you have to remember, a lot of folks coming into this game are not necessarily coming from an MMO background. They're, say, Final Fantasy fans, which are all kind of single-player games. You don't have to worry about the party dynamics of kind of assuming that party role. And so people are, at this point, are needing to learn, face breath attacks away from the party. Things like attacks from the sides, attacks from the back.
Yeah, now that I think about that, I only learned that as a tank in some of the end game of Wrath of the Lich King. There was a giant dragon. You have to face her away from everyone else. Yeah, that's not as common as I took it for.
Yeah, a lot of MMO players are excited that they're introducing what had previously been considered kind of in-game raid mechanics into the very introductory portion of the game.
That's really brilliant.
And because, I mean, it's not that difficult, but it is a different way of thinking about approaching combat for a team game.
Yeah.
And
although it's not intentionally put out there either, so it's kind of difficult. I can understand that would be really frustrating if people didn't know the fights and they were all kind of coming into it, because it just doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind too, though, is that really it's difficult to go in entirely blind where nobody knows what's going on, because everybody's helping each other and there's a lot of opportunity to go through content with your friends who are new and so on. There's a lot of word of mouth explanations going on with all of the different dungeons throughout the game, all of the different content. So it's not like everybody's going in totally blind. It's designed towards a community that understands kind of how this works and is hopefully happy to explain to new players.
Yes.
So yeah, so the flame breath is the first thing that'll get you. The second thing is when he starts summoning the eruptions underneath people. And
yes, which specifically keeps the casters that are far away.
Yep.
On their toes.
Yep, he starts summoning the cracks underneath people, and if they don't run, then they'll get caught in the eruption. Then he starts summoning the patterns of zones of spheres underneath party, first on the outer edges of the arena, and then centered on himself. So
yeah, that one freaked me out.
Yeah, so people who are either at range or in melee range need to pay attention and run out of the way before those can explode on them. Those can all kill people. But the thing that's kind of unique to Ifrit is that when he summons the infernal nail, the big spike.
Yes.
If you don't kill that, it's on a timer basically. It disappears after like 10 or 15 seconds. If you don't,
Yeah, I barely noticed it in time.
yeah, the first time I did this fight, I did not even realize it had appeared because I was so focused on Ifrit himself.
Ah, Thancred. Thank you. Thank you, Thancred.
But yeah, so if you don't kill that, then when he disappears and then reappears in the center and explodes in a giant flame eruption, then everybody will just die. It will wipe the party. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you do destroy it, then it only deals 40 to 60% damage, which is recoverable if you're on your toes.
I'm cool with Thancred blaming himself. Glad he's taken responsibility for what didn't necessarily need to happen that way. Because previously, now that I think about it, we've had previous instances where the other Scions have helped us at the right time and saved the day. That's how we got our first crystal. Oh, sup, Minphilia. I guess I didn't have to come back to you guys. I mean, like, screw you guys. You're not even helpful. Yes, that fight did have some tiers that came up very quickly. But on the other hand, if you fail any of those, the whole party wipes. You also don't lose that much because it's a trial. So having the trial early on is actually extremely helpful because it gives you a low impact way to practice boss fights.
Yep, absolutely.
That's freaking brilliant. Fantastic.
Also, the difficulty on the trials is usually a significant step up from dungeon boss fights.
Which by its purpose it should be.
Yep. It even suits the name.
It's a trial to learn how to fight bosses. And this was just some besides the nail, which was probably the most kind of high ranking of the quirks, a lot of those were like, yeah, these are very normal kinds of boss things. You were totally right about that.
Yep. But now that they've been introduced, you'll be expected to deal with them on the fly in upcoming boss fights.
Yes, in actual dungeons.
These mechanics are now in your repertoire, so you have to be on your toes and watching for them.
And by that, we also don't even get loot for it, except for the end of the quest itself.
Yep, which is a big one. This is the big gatekeeper into the greater world and the greater game. As you, like I mentioned, as you go through the story now, you'll get introduced to the grand companies. There'll be a lot of quests, chocobos, things like that, and then pretty much it's wide open. There's not any more kind of artificial stumbling blocks in your way.
Oh yeah, all the characters are getting all paranoid now. They're like, something big's happening. This isn't normal daily occurrences. Siobhan shows up and then all sorts of crazy stuff breaks loose. I'ma be a celebrity representing the Scions. Uh-oh, Thancred's gotta lay something low on us. Concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. All are to be put to death, the flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. Oh, hey! Whoa, 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 whoa! We were just about to be cool, Thancred.
Yeah, that kind of hit me for a loop.
Whoa. What is up with that? I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. Oh, come on, guys, put him in put him under house arrest or something. You don't have, you guys are lazy. Thancred, you're lazy. Lazy and irresponsible. We were so close to being cool.
It's a very...
I see you in there and you're like, oh, I really messed up things, and I'm sorry to Shaban, and all this stuff. No, we were cool. Now it's like, hold up. That's nuts.
It's a very medieval sort of justice.
Yeah. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General. Yeah, you can go deal with that then. Explain to him what's going on. That'll probably involve lying to him, so that's cool. Since we're going to tell him the truth, then it'll be a little awkward. Louis Sois would never have allowed this to happen. Yeah, he's gonna beat himself up for that. Ah, this is a lot tougher than I was expecting. Quest complete, but at what cost? All right, MF. What's the lowdown? What? Oh yeah, I'm famous now. Yeah, they're actually going to give me a lot of XP for all of this, huh? I was but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. One of many, many, many adventurers. Yeah, Ida and Papalimo were rocking it with me. Yeah, we took down a primal. You know, it happens. Ooh. What's up, y'all? Diva's here. You got issues? I got solutions. What's the stitch? Yep, that's me. Shaban's the name. You can call me Her Lady Shaban of the Awesometon. Minfield is like, no big. Ooh, I've garnered the attentions of the grand companies of Eorzea. There's that word I've been waiting for. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. Oh my. This is so sudden. Ah yes, yellow team, blue team, and red team. They're all here for me. And they all have very interesting and different hats. So I'll have to choose my favorite hat. I doubt it's that simple though. They wouldn't put this all into the game for it to be a choice between yellow, blue, and red. But what of the other grand companies? Ah yes, Mistress Marsden is a fabulous way to approach me, Serpent Officer. The people hold you in high esteem and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. You're gonna have to step up your game, Flame Officer, because that was pretty hot. Ah, the pleasure is all mine, Flame Officer. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A woman of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future to Ul'dah. She said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. I am so flattered. I am 3 times over flattered. But I'm concerned about why they are flattering me so much. It sounds like there's one for Limsa, one for Ul'dah, and one for Gridania. Shimon's like, this is a little much. They are laying it on thick. Oh, I can also choose a salute, it looks like. Double cross arms, normal hand-to-head salute, and I think that was like one-armed raised or something. Like a shield kind of pose. I mean, Ophelia, help me out. What's going on? A brief summary of the situation would be wonderful. Okay, grand companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: Maelstrom of Limsa Lominsa, Order of Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. So I'll be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you'll be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your future endeavors. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. So this is like picking a college. That's kind of scary. Recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. Oh, so who's speaking for these cats? Okay. And they're gone. That was the weirdest Devo act I've ever seen. Hey, I guess we are kind of being conscripted to military service, aren't we? But we're not necessarily attached to them, so it's not like a college. It's all of it kind of reminds me of like YouTube partnerships. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, what team do you want to join? You can do whatever you want, but we also get to reap some of your benefits.
It's more like being drafted for a sports team.
Yeah, I like that. I like that analogy too. 12 know that we'll need it in the days ahead. Grand companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, want to protect Eorzea as a whole. Similar, but not quite the same. Okay, I'll carry this link pearl at all times. It'll allow us to stay in touch. Wow, so I've got to go to 3 remembrance services. Oh, the lifestyle of the rich and famous. A hero's work never ends. Alright, later, Minphelia. Where's Tataru? She's upstairs. We always have a good time together.